Hi guys, and welcome on back to That Aussie Mum. In today's video I thought I would do a little bit of a story time because it's been a hot minute since I last posted a video and I need to kind of explain a little bit why. It's not all the reasons why, but it's the main reason why I haven't done anything for a little while, and that is because I broke my leg. Before we jump into that though, I do have a review of a product that I was kindly sent last week, and it kind of ties in with the video a little bit as well, so let's jump into that. So the lovely people at the Collagen Co, which is an Australian-based collagen beauty company, sent me a box of their premium collagen peptides, and they sent me the mixed flavor. Now, I've never really tried collagen supplements before, but considering what they claim to be able to do, I thought I would give it a shot, especially with my broken leg. So what the collagen is for is, if you don't know, it's for your hair, skin, nails, joints, all that kind of thing. And I was like, well, I broke my leg and my knee joint and my ankle joint have got screws in them basically, and I thought this would be a really great way of trying to heal those joints from the inside. I'm not sure if that's working yet. I've only been using it for a week, but I can tell you that I've had a lot of other benefits from this in the meantime as well. So let me just tell you about this first. So the Collagen Co is an Australian-based company, and they use premium collagen peptides which contains 15 grams of 100% pure grass-fed pasture-raised bovine collagen. So it's not vegan, it's not vegetarian, it is from cows. And it is meant to help you, like I said, with your skin, nails, hair, and your joints. And one thing that I have noticed is that my nails have actually started to grow and not break. They actually feel pretty good after a week of use. Plus, and I didn't tell you this story, I nearly broke my thumb a couple months ago and lost the nail, and it was slowly going back, but this week alone it has grown back so much and so strong and healthy, and I'm going to say that this probably helped as well. So it says on the box that it has added vitamins and minerals, so it's got hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, and biotin, which helps the collagen production, because your body naturally makes collagen, but it sometimes just doesn't make enough and you need a little bit of a boost. So it says that it reduces fine lines and wrinkles. Now this is all assuming you are on a healthy diet with a variety of foods. If you're having this just on its own, it's not going to do what it says, because you should be on a healthy diet anyway. So it reduces fine lines and wrinkles, promotes a brighter complexion, support nail strength and growth, which I'm definitely seeing. Usually these just break straight away. I can't believe the length I've got them to already. Support healthy guts, increases your skin hydration, thicker and healthier hair, joint and tendon health, and it is grass-fed and pasture raised. So there you go. I think that it's working already on my nails. I actually have noticed a lot less hair loss when I shower or brush my hair. Normally I'd have huge clumps of hair coming out, but I'm actually noticing that it's not too bad at the moment. So in the powder that they send you, just so you know, sugars, it says 0 grams of sugar in these. So they're not full of sugar, they're not full of fats, but they do have some sodium in there, and obviously they're collagen peptide. There's no gluten, so it's gluten-free, dairy-free. And so I've been using it for a week, and to be honest, my girls have been trying it out as well, and they actually really enjoy it. So this box that they sent me was mixed flavors, and it comes with 14 sachets, and I am pretty much more than halfway through, as you can see, but they do have 4 flavors. So you've got your unflavored, which you can just throw into a smoothie, into your coffee, into a glass of juice, whatever it was that you want to throw it into. You've got strawberry watermelon, delicious. And we've got the mixed berry, also delicious. But the flavor that's missing in my box at the moment is the passion fruit mango. And the reason the passion fruit mango is all finished is because it's our favorite. In fact, I have it in a glass right now. This one is delicious, and I think I'm going to buy the bulk container of it because it is so good. And my girls, it's the favorite. My girls like this one the best as well. So basically with these, all you do is you open up your sachet. You're meant to throw it into 400 mils of water, but I tend to put it in a lot less. I like my drinks quite sweet. So I put it in with less, and I chuck some ice into there as well. And then you just enjoy it just as if it was a normal drink. You can take up to 2 servings a day. They recommend that you don't take more than that. And see the results. So I've already seen some results, and I am looking forward to seeing more results because I definitely think that I am going to be purchasing some more of this, especially seeing as the girls and I both like it. And I really want to get my joints under control as well, especially with this broken leg. So if you are interested in trying this out for yourself, I have actually got a discount code for you. It is in the description box. It is Susan-H. If you plug that in at checkout, you will get yourself a nice little discount. And yeah, go check out their website, go check out their social media. I love the fact that it is an Australian brand, and I love supporting Australian companies. So go ahead and give this a shot. Okay, now that that's out of the way, story time. So, like I said, I broke my leg. How does a 41-year-old woman break her leg and do it really well? Let me tell you. So 6-7 weeks ago, I went on our school's year 9 ski trip. So we went to Canberra, we had to fly down to Sydney, we drove to Canberra, did a few things in Canberra, and then we went to Thredbo. And we had 2 days of skiing in Thredbo. The first day was pretty good. Managed to only stack it a few times, wasn't too bad. I've been skiing for about 5 years now, and I'm no pro by any stretch of the imagination. I went down a blue run, I regret it greatly.
I thought I was gonna die.
I didn't, thought I was. Almost slid down all the way on my butt because it was scary. So first day was great. It was all fine, other than my daughter, who was on this camp, being really, really unwell. She was the only child on this camp who actually got unwell. Imagine that. And I was the medic. So, there you go. So that first day was great. Bearing in mind now, we've now had 4 days with 130 year 9 students, and all the teachers, all 16 of us, are absolutely exhausted. So you can see where this is going, right? We were exhausted. It's now day 2 of skiing. And the teachers get a little bit of free time while the kids are doing lessons, which is great. So I went up with my teacher pals and we did some runs by ourselves. Angie was feeling better at that point, so I actually took her up for some runs to get her legs again so she could join her more experienced group. Not all kids get to do everything, but she was in a small group of experienced kids because we've been skiing for about 5 years now. We have all our own gear. So preface all of this. Before we went skiing, I actually had my own skis and boots, and my camp boss took them down with him because he drove down, and he took them to be serviced. So when he came back, he told me he didn't know, and nor did the people who serviced them, didn't know how I hadn't had a broken leg yet because the dins were too tight. And so therefore whenever I'd fall, my skis wouldn't come off. So when you fall, when you're snow skiing, your skis are meant to come off to avoid you breaking a leg. So they loosened them and it was meant to be all good. And I had a couple of stacks, they hadn't come off, and I just thought, oh, maybe they weren't serious enough stacks, it'll be fine. So this next day, after very little sleep the night before, because of Angie not feeling well and just some other dramas that were going on, we were now at the point with the kids where we could take small groups of kids up and do some other bigger green runs, because they'd been on this yellow run the whole time on Friday Flat. And we decided that, okay, if you feel comfortable as staff, you can take a couple of kids that you've watched, make sure that they've got the skills that they need, and you can take them up to some of the green runs like Walkabout and Squatters Run. So I got 3 boys that I took up with me. I went, you guys are doing real good. Come up with me, we'll go and do this run. So we went up, we did the run. They struggled for a little bit because it was the jump between Friday Flat and Walkabout and Squatters is massive. There's no in between. And they struggled a little bit, but they decided, okay, let's give it one more crack. So we went again, did another crack. Now I'm going real slow, tail end Charlie, helping them get up and making sure they're okay and not breaking their legs or running into other people. So I did that, and then we got back down and I noticed that some of the other teachers had actually brought a large group up, and they were all just doing a big group thing. And I went, okay, we'll just join in with them. So we went up and I played tail end Charlie again, like the lovely person that I am, which meant I was going down really slowly, picking kids up when they were falling, coaching them on their way down, getting them down the mountain safely, which meant that I hadn't had a proper run all day. And I knew we were on the last run of the day. It was the last run, and then we had to go back, take back all of the equipment that the kids had hired, because we were going home the next day. So I found one of the other teachers, and she had 2 students who are very experienced skiers, and I said to her, I said, look, Jackie, I really want to just do a quick, good run without playing tail end Charlie. And she went, okay, let's go. You can lead the way. I went, sweet. So we get up the top of Walkabout and Squatters Run, and I take off. I've got the 2 kids and this other teacher behind me, and there's this steep bit that's a really short, really steep bit before you get down to something called the Traverse, which is the top of Walkabout, Squatters, Ballroom, all those other runs. And it's the steepest part. It's short, but it's steep. Now, the snow was not good. It was very icy. It wasn't great snow conditions, to be perfectly honest. And someone had, probably a snowboarder, because no shade on snowboarders, but they tend to do this. Someone had pushed a whole bunch of snow up into like a little mini bank when they'd obviously turned. And I went to turn, but I turned too slowly. And my right ski actually dug into the little mini snowbank and stopped. But my body didn't, and my body twisted. And as I twisted and was falling, I heard and felt a bone in my lower leg snap. It was like, I heard it, I felt it. It was agony. Like, I've had 2 children naturally, one without any drugs, and this was more painful than that. And I was stuck, my skis did not come off. So if my skis had come off, I do believe I would not have broken my leg, but my skis did not come off even after they'd been serviced. So I was stuck there screaming on a slope, sideways down a slope, trying not to roll down the hill, face in the snow, screaming for help. People just flying past, not stopping. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see this other teacher and the kids ditch their skis and start running back up to help me. And then a really lovely gentleman on a snowboard actually stopped to help me, and he ended up being a firefighter. So he knew all the first responder things, which was great. So they took my skis off, but then he tried to move me, and it was absolute agony. I was just like, no, I can't move. I cannot move. I'm sobbing. It was so painful. And I knew that the break was inside the ski boot, for which I'm very grateful, because if it had been outside the ski boot, it probably would have pierced the skin and been sticking out. So the boot saved me from that, at least. And then just by chance, one of the ski patrol was ending his shift and he was on his way down and he found me. So he had all his equipment. So he managed to get me onto the green whistle, which, if you don't know, the green whistle is pretty much the same gas they use when you're giving birth or whatever to try and get rid of the pain. It tastes the same. It works really well to calm me down. It doesn't work for the pain, unfortunately. And it was all very quick from there. They managed to get ski patrol up. They managed to load me into a sled. And then they had to ski me all the way back down the mountain. It was probably about 3 minutes in the sled from top of the mountain all the way to the bottom, which was a very interesting experience. They loaded me into a 4-wheel drive, took me to the Thredbo Medical Centre, where they'd already then started pumping pain meds into me. So When we were there, we couldn't take the boot off because we knew the brake was in the boot. I had to have x-rays, and we could see it was a spiral fracture. They thought originally that it was both the tibia and the fibula that were broken, but when I did get to the hospital, they realized it was only the tibia, thank goodness, which is the thicker bone. So you can see in the picture, in this x-ray, you could see the snap and where it was. And you can also see that it was still in the boot. They then had to knock me out completely to be able to get the boot off, at which point they also cut my pants, like they cut my clothes off because they couldn't get them off. And an ambulance was called. At this point, I've now had morphine and all sorts of other pain meds. I'm completely out of it and barely know what's going on. I then had to endure a 2-hour road trip by ambulance to Canberra on very poor roads. It was very painful. And again, morphine, ketamine, pethidine, all the deans were pretty much injected into me to help control the pain because it was horrendous. Eventually got to Canberra Hospital, bearing in mind now that my husband is still home on the Gold Coast and I am in Canberra with a broken leg and out of my mind on painkillers, and my daughter is with the rest of the school group who was going home the next day. So in the end, so that was a Wednesday night. I got to Canberra Hospital. I couldn't get out of bed. I had to use a bedpan. It was awful. It was so awful. And the pain was horrific. It was so painful. And they literally were just pumping me full of painkillers 24/7. Like, I barely remember much of what went on. One of my colleagues said she rang me and I spoke to her on the phone and I had zero recollection of that conversation. I also got really hurt because I thought none of my friends had texted me. I thought, well, they don't love me. And a week later I went back and checked. They did text me. I just didn't remember that they texted me, and I didn't remember that I actually replied to them. That's how much pain relief I was on. I was seeing double for a week. So that was Wednesday, got me into the hospital. I was meant to have surgery on the Thursday, but then something more important came up and I couldn't get in on the Thursday. So then I had the surgery first thing Friday morning, and the school ended up flying Daniel down to Canberra, and he arrived Friday afternoon. And then we spent up until Tuesday in the hospital, just trying to recover, trying to get paperwork done because it was all under workers' compensation because it was a school trip. Trying to figure out how we were going to get home because driving home was not going to happen. I was in too much pain. I couldn't bend my leg. And in the end, we decided, well, we'll just fly business class home because I would have more leg room and be more comfortable on the flight. Trying to get a doctor down there in Canberra, in that hospital, it was the public hospital, trying to get them to sign workers' compensation paperwork, to sign permission to fly paperwork, all that kind of stuff was an absolute nightmare. It took so long to get them to do any of that. The nurses down there were incredible. They were absolutely amazing. They looked after me so well. The surgeons, of course, they get the job done and then that's it. They don't really care. They don't give you much information. Basically though, for the surgery, and I'll put up some x-rays now, I had to have a titanium rod inserted straight down the middle of my tibia. So they drilled out the marrow of my tibia and they hammered in a full rod that goes from my ankle to my knee. They then had to do that, they had to cut my knee open. They had to move my kneecap out of the way. They had to put in a couple of screws in my ankle, on the inside of my ankle, and then they had to put screws into the knee. And one of those screws actually sticks out a little bit. I can actually tap it and feel that that's a screw. It looks a bit weird. So I do have some ripping good scars, which is awesome. However, I cannot weight bear at all. I'm in a moon boot, so I didn't have to have a cast. Thank the Lord for that. Excuse me. But the pain is horrendous. It's now been, today, 6 weeks since surgery. I still cannot weight bear at all. And my knee and my ankle are in a lot of pain. So I'm still on a lot of oral pain relief. And it's not healing anywhere near as fast as I was hoping it was going to heal. So I just went and got more x-rays done on Monday. I do have my 6-week fracture check appointment this afternoon to see where we go from there, because I'm going to need a lot of rehab. Obviously I've been off work that whole 6 weeks. It's school holidays at the moment. So thankfully workers' compensation is still covering my wage, because that would be my salary. That would not be great if it didn't. So I'm super, super grateful for that. Workers' compensation in the worker system in Australia is actually been brilliant. I've had to use them a few times, and they've never skipped a beat. They've been absolutely amazing. Plug, just so you know. School has been amazing as well. I get a phone call from school once or twice a week during school time to check on me. And so today's appointment really is to see where to go from here, whether I can start doing rehab with the physio and OT, to see where I can go back to work. I can't drive. I haven't been able to drive for the whole time. So I can't drive, I can't go to work. I could probably do some work from home stuff. I'm still just waiting to see what they want me to do. I don't think I'll be in the classroom for the rest of the year. So just because the students are a liability to me, and I'm a liability to them if there's an emergency and I can't get to them fast enough. So basically my classroom days for this year are over. So yeah, so that's where we're at, and we will find out this evening when I go to the doctor where to go from here, I guess. Obviously I'll keep you updated with how things are going, whether I can get back to work or not, but yeah, it's been really hard to just sit around for 6 weeks. I also have to have blood thinning injections every night, just because I can't exercise and we don't want me to end up with DVT or deep vein thrombosis or anything like that. So that's not very fun. I do those myself. But about a week after I got home, the depression really hit, and it is a thing, like post-anesthetic depression, which hits way later. That was a really, really tough week, especially because I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't get food, I could barely get out of bed, the pain was so bad, and that was really tough. It's been a lot better lately. I've figured out how to do a lot of things while I'm still on my crutches for myself, but I'm still so heavily reliant on my oldest daughter and my husband for getting me to places, because I can't drive at all. So there's a lot of sitting around at home, and I've had to find a lot of things to keep myself busy, because I can't handle just sitting and doing nothing, or just watching TV or Netflix or whatever. It's just, yeah. So it is, mentally I'm getting a lot better, and it helps that my husband is super supportive. He had to work from home for a lot of that time to help me out and take carers leave, things like that. My kids have been amazing. They've done a lot of dinner. We were gifted a lot of meals to help us get through the first few weeks, which has been absolutely amazing. So people from church, people from school, family, even people I don't know have donated food to us. And I was like absolutely blown away. What a blessing. So yeah, that's the story of my broken leg. Like I said to my husband and to everyone else who is always like, wow, you did a good job. It's like, yeah, go hard or go home. I don't do things by halves, including breaking myself. So yeah. So that's how I did it. If you want updates on my poor broken leg, let me know in the comments down below. If you've broken a leg before, how did you cope? Did you heal really fast? Did it take a really long time? Tell me what your experience was. I'd really, really love to know. So give this video a thumbs up, click that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.